The government has been taking measures to avoid complying with a recent ruling from the Constitutional Court that abrogated a law on the closure of prep schools. A Justice and Development Party, AK Party, proposed law criticized by jurists and educators as unlawful and designed to create chaos in the education system. In a landmark ruling last week, the Constitutional Court annulled the law abolishing prep schools, also known as dershanes, which help students prepare for standardized high school and university entrance exams, ruling that the closure of the schools would be against the Constitution. The Constitutional Court, which abrogated the law by a 5-12 majority vote, said the law represented a violation of the Constitution regarding the articles related to the right to education and free enterprise. Following the Constitutional Court's annulment of the much-criticized law that sought to close down private prep schools, the Ministry of Education announced that it will issue licenses for prep schools to offer only a limited selection of courses, the Cumhuriyet Daily said on Monday. Prep schools will be able to offer courses only on math, the history of the Turkish Revolution and literature, the report said. Speaking to Sunday's Zaman, PAK Education and Science Employees Union, PAK ITime, Chairman Abdullah Kekran said the ministry's decision to allow prep schools to offer only a limited type of courses has no legal basis and urged the ministry to draw up a roadmap for the prep schools in line with the top court's decision. The government should not create chaos in the education system and should devise a roadmap for prep schools that did not transition to regular schools, said Kekran. Jurists say ruling allows prep schools to operate freely. Following the Constitutional Court's annulment, it has been a source of debate whether those prep schools that have not converted into regular schools will be able to continue their activities as prep schools. According to the now annulled law, prep schools would no longer be able to operate as such after September 1, 2015 and must convert to standard high schools if they wish to remain in operation. Pro-government newspapers such as Yeni Şafak and Star have run stories criticizing the top court for its dershane ruling, claiming that these institutions will still be unable to operate. Kekran said that 10 law professors with whom they discussed whether the prep schools should be allowed to operate freely after the top court decision unanimously said there is no legal obstacle to the prep schools continuing their operations. In an earlier interview with today's Zaman on July 16, Professor Ergun Özbudan, an expert on constitutional law, described the claims by pro-government media outlets as being extremely nonsensical and illogical and said the top court's decision would not mean anything if dershanes cannot continue to function. Since the law has been annulled, the prep course providers are free to continue their activities. The Constitutional Court based its ruling on the right to education and free enterprise which are guaranteed in the Constitution, said Özbudan. In a surprise move, the AK party decided in November 2013 to shut down Turkey's prep schools. The relevant bill, which became law in March of last year, stirred massive debate. In Turkey, extreme importance is placed on the college entrance exam, thus creating the demand for supplemental preparatory institutions. Critics of the law have said that the prep schools level the playing field for some students, especially those from public schools, who hope to attend university because the prep courses are relatively affordable. These schools are regarded by many middle and lower income families as an equalizing force when it comes to seeking a better education for their children. The announcement to shut down the schools sparked a rift between the government and the Hizmet movement, which is inspired by Islamic scholar Fethullah Gulen, because a significant percentage of the schools are owned by those inspired by the movement, and the ensuing revenue constitutes a major portion of the movement's financial holdings.